the Women Unleashed podcast. Join us as we share with you the fun, confronting, wild, fucked up, epic, and raw side of being a woman in today's world. Nothing is off limits. Allow yourself to be inspired to be unleashed.
We acknowledge that we are recording our podcast on the traditional country of the Turrbal and Yagara people and pay respect to their elders past and present. We acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and contribution they make to this community. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Women Unleashed podcast. Today we are going to be talking with you all about budgeting, tips and tricks we use, what different accounts we have, how we've found to do joint budgeting, which can be, a bit of a topic. So we're just going to go through all that today and hopefully give you guys some insight into some things that we find useful for our own lives.
Yep,
and maybe it'll
sure are.
help you too.
I get a bit nerdy over budgeting. I'm like, same as planning. I'm like, oh, like I just love knowing that I've got the money I need and it's being saved for like the things that I want or that are important to me in my life. And yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, I agree too. And it's, if you don't know where your money's going, then if you don't track it or measure it, you don't know what the results are, right?
No.
So it's super important.
Those that are measured can be managed.
Exactly. And it's also about like having fun with your money too, we're not talking about like budgeting so that it's all just about bills and boring stuff. It's also about making sure you've got money to enjoy your money. Yes.
So what is available, this is going to be a bit of a context shifter for people, but freedom is available through budgeting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because by budgeting, you actually create certainty for yourself.
Yeah, and comfort.
Yeah, so if you're certain you've got that $100 a week to splurge on whatever you like, you're going to enjoy splurging.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, yeah, that's why I budget.
Yeah, well that's, me too.
Some of that created freedom.
Me too, and I love saving. When you can see your saving balance going up and
love watching the numbers tick, tick, tick. I was a great saver as a kid.
Yeah. I was okay. But
what did you spend your money on as a kid?
Well, I like social stuff. So just like movies,
what? Movies?
Or, this was when I was like 17 working at Hungry Jack's earning
so cool.
$150 a week, nothing.
Yeah.
My mum would manage my money actually for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did that look like?
So she would just save some and I'd say, I just want this much and she'd just give it to me, but it would stay.
So it'd all go away and you'd say, hey, Mum, this week I want 50.
Yeah. Yeah. So that worked for a while.
Great idea. And how much had you saved before you actually looked at how much you had saved?
I don't know. I think it was a couple of grand maybe. Nice. I don't know.
By what age?
Oh, it was 17 or 18.
That's awesome.
But I think so. I don't know. I can't remember now. It was like that's 11 years ago now. Which makes, oh God. So
you're not
old.
that old, Taylor. You're still 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know, but it just 11 years. That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and then I started budgeting myself. But, I probably wasn't the best at it. I've gotten better as I've gotten older. And had money. I was pretty broke when I was at uni and stuff. So, it all kind of just went to
so broke
necessities.
Yeah.
But now that I've, much better. And also, I need to budget in my business too. So I've got to have two budgets. I've got to have a business budget and a personal budget to make sure that I've got money for my business bills.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good point. So will we talk about personal budgeting first and then maybe budgeting?
Yeah, I think
budgeting,
mostly
business budgeting.
You're right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll probably base it just on personal and we can just chuck a couple of things in about business.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it all really works the same.
Yeah.
Budgeting's budgeting.
And if we get carried away, we might just split it into 2 episodes.
Yep.
Cool.
So where did you learn budgeting tips from? Like, where did you get some ideas from it, or did you just miraculously know how to budget?
Look, it's funny. Like, there have definitely been things that have assisted me later in my life. But when I was a late teenager, because I loved numbers as it was, like I really loved maths, and I actually always started out by like dividing my expense by the frequency at which I got paid.
Yep.
And so when you're a teenager, I think you get paid weekly, like for, rando jobs, and like not rando, but like like I worked at a bakery or Coles.
Yeah, most jobs were weekly.
Yeah. And so I did that from a really early age, and then I actually adopted a previous partner's style, which was to like not do that, and to just like, I can't even remember. It was weird. It was like I was earning enough so that when that bill came along, like I'd be able to pay for it anyway. But it like...
But then didn't it leave your weeks short rather than having like stiffing it up?
It didn't leave me short, but it left me with this uncertainty. Like, and I couldn't see the bills like buckets like sort of stacking up, and then it led to like, and then I got a credit card, and it just led to like unconscious spending. So I don't recommend that.
No, I think it's the best ways to, like your phone bill, say $100 a month, and you get paid weekly. It's $25 a week that you put away.
Yeah.
I think personally, that's the best way, and it's smaller amounts, because if you're, say you've got, you've got $700 a week, and then you've got your phone bill for $100, that gives you $600 that week left.
Yeah.
Rather than $675.
Yeah.
So it's about I think managing it. Same with like your big bills, like your rego, water, electricity, all of that stuff.
All the predictable stuff.
Yeah, which you can work based off your rough,
what's
bills.
In the past. Or actually, this is a good point. If you don't know, because you've never, it's like the first time you're going renting, like ask some of your friends, ask your parents, like what's your power bill like?
Yes.
What's your gas bill like if you've got gas, like,
and water and stuff, and rent, and obviously rent's generally weekly, so you kind of just have to it's just that big bill. But yeah, regos too, car maintenance, stuff like that, putting things away and just separating it per your pay cycle.
Yes, yeah, we sort of jumped ahead there, but yeah, so first I didn't, I think I just, that's what was logical to me. And then, I changed it up, and then I saved a big bunch of money, went traveling, came back, and then I read The Barefoot Investor, and that reminded me of the way that I was actually doing things, was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And which is what you just described. And then the valuable thing I got out of The Barefoot Investor was like the percentage of my income that I should be spending on different types of expenses and savings. I found that really, really useful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I read that book too. I read it mostly because at the time I knew a lot of my clients would have read it as well. So I really wanted to get an insight into what they had been reading. But I did find it. And for people who've never really had any financial literacy, or, never been around anybody who could give them information, it's such a good book for that. I also like another podcast, the She's on the Money podcast.
They are great.
Oh, Victoria Devine's amazing, and she's got 2 books out now.
Does she?
Yeah, on it as well. So her newest is on investing. I have not read them yet, but I would say I've heard very good things. So that's probably another good place to start as well for learning what to do with your money, and then taking it that step further on investing as well.
Yep. Great. Now, actually, I'll throw in there, I did do a finance degree, and there was a financial planning subject that I did do in there, which like talked a little bit about budgeting, but you do more like, probably project budgeting, other financial analysis. So I wouldn't say like it was a huge personal finance budgeting tool. But yeah, anything else?
probably a bit of, my work as well, mortgage broking, kind of do learn things in there, and and then you learn from some people what not to do as well, what maybe isn't the best way. So and just I've stuffed up budgets before. I've stuffed up my money before. So learning from myself as well, like, that didn't really work. So let's try something else.
I've definitely noticed some of my behaviors and I'm going, okay, like I'm constantly like overspending on this particular aspect. Should I just make it bigger? Can I? Okay, I can. All right, well, let's do that. So because otherwise you create this like negative psychology with yourself where you just keep beating yourself up.
Yes.
And that's no good, like not a great relationship to have with money and yourself.
Yeah. It's also, and your money, can really tell you where your values lie. So when you look at your bank statements, I'm probably jumping, we're probably talking now like tips and stuff, but when you start looking at your bank statements and things like that, you can see like what you value and what you spend your money on.
100%. Mine lately, so I think, last time we spoke about this, mine would have said I value Coles a lot. Now it's saying I value my horse Carlos even more.
Good. That should, right?
Yes.
Mine's lately been food. Which is, I love food, but I also I'm getting a bit over myself spending money on food. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, this is costing a lot.
Yeah, and it's not cheap anymore.
Yeah, I had the same thing. Sorry, you go.
It's just saying, it's just not cheap. Like Uber Eats and stuff. And that's just me also just being lazy and tired and just being like, I cannot be bothered to cook. Like, let's just sort it out. But yeah, it just adds up really quickly.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah.
That was something I confronted when I was taking on bulimia, like not being bulimic anymore, was like how much money I was spending on food and time wasted on the food. So I just I got exhausted by it. I was like, this is fucked. Like, I'm so over this. And now, like, we were at breakfast this morning and I said to Taylor, I feel like such a tight ass now. I don't want to spend $20 on breakfast. That's a whole week of eggs on toast.
Yeah.
Like, probably even 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's much cheaper to eat at home.
Yeah, I've mastered scrambled eggs. So I love them.
Yeah, Will makes good scrambled eggs.
Yeah, so good.
I was thinking that maybe next time this is totally such a
we could do a home breakfast.
We could just do a home breakfast.
And we can include Will and Nathan maybe.
Yeah.
And just like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Saving
good.
tip, cook at home.
Boom. Yeah, cook at home. And something I've noticed, and I'm comparing myself to Nathan, but he cooks really well at home and simple things well.
Yeah.
Like he can make epic sausage rolls and scones.
Yum.
Like in a heartbeat. And he has a great relationship with himself. Whereas I am still like mastering that domain and it's really me. But yeah, I don't want to cook as much for myself because it's like, well, why bother?
Yeah, I'm the same, or I don't really.
Because it's like, why bother for me?
Yeah, and the satisfaction's just not as high sometimes.
Correct, which again comes back to like the poor relationship with self. You know, like if you were that I'm epic, like I'm gonna cook really yummy food for myself. I don't care who else I'm feeding if it's just me.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm getting out there. And
yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to do that too. Because when I do cook, I actually can cook. Like I'm not a shitty.
No.
I'm not someone who can just throw stuff together. Like I do need a recipe if it's a new dish. But I can cook it. Yeah. I'm not completely like.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can't be bothered about myself, which is, not great.
No. So. And same with like work, I'm going into the office all the time now. So if I don't bring my lunch, like I'm bringing my lunch because it's just too, you can spend $15-20 a day on lunch. It's $100 a week just on, it's ridiculous.
On food that is okay.
Yeah, I don't generally it doesn't really satisfy me anyway, generally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we've got a bit off topic.
That was a great tangent.
Yeah. But that's one tip is, cooking more.
Yes, at home. The question I had for next was, it's not sort of on our list, but we'll talk about it, is like what tools do people need to budget? Because there's lots of companies out there that will assist you. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, an Excel spreadsheet
That's it.
That's great. But the Money Smart website,
Yeah,
which is
that
the
a
government website,
Yeah.
which is free, they have a budgeting tool.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so you can go on for free
Cool.
and go on there and do budgeting stuff. So
Awesome.
that's good.
That's
yeah.
really cool. So yeah, you can use, like, at its most fanciest, it should be an Excel spreadsheet, right?
Or even
And-
a pen and paper.
Yeah, pen and paper. Rule some lines out, get your calculator out, or phone has a calculator
Yep.
on it.
I even in my notes put, like, I've done like a big budget of everything, and then per account I have like how much needs to go in.
Yes.
So on my phone I just have like this needs to go on this account, so then if I'm out and about it's just there.
Do you know what you want to hack for that? And I think it's a barefoot tip, but I'm going to steal it. Is once you've done your like big budget of everything and know how much has to go in each account, like I think it's easier for me because I'm still on a wage, but you just auto
Yes,
set up
which I
those
used to,
things.
but being self-employed, I just don't like to, in case, you know, there's tight money that week or there's something.
Well, do
So
you know
you-
what? ING gives you a little like, hey, you bounced, but it's
Yes.
okay because you just bounced paying yourself, like not anyone else.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's happened to me a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I went to make myself wrong, like, oh no, like I got it wrong. Oh my gosh. But it's not a big deal. And
No.
it has taken, like, I don't have to think about it, Taylor.
Yeah, no, it is very helpful. I probably could
It's
because I
incredible.
always pay myself the like I don't really miss it, so I don't know why. It's
just the mental, like, it just gone.
yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
And having, you know, talking about accounts, like I have multiple accounts, which can be a bit of a nightmare when you're going to get finance. Like us mortgage brokers can
Where's
get
all
frustrated.
your money?
Yeah. But like for me, I have a spending, I have a bills account, I have my bills is like my health insurance and stuff.
Yep.
And then I have another bills, which is for just my house. So my rates and water
Oh, yeah.
and
Why
all
do you
of,
do that?
just because it's with a different bank.
Oh, okay.
So I just-
and why do you do that?
Just so I don't touch it. And it's all
Okay.
just there rather than.
So is the is the health insurance one with a bank that you like touch more?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, got it.
That's
Yep.
where my nails and hair go as well.
Oh,
So that's all that
okay.
stuff. And then my house bills go to another one.
Yeah.
For my mortgage to come out of and my water and yeah. I don't know. It just works for me.
Yep.
And then I've just started a gifts account, which I'm loving. So I just put a bit of money away a week in there for birthdays and Christmas and whatever else. And it was great. Like Will's birthday was the other week. I had money in there because I've just been putting a little bit away a week. And I had like $300 in there just to spend on him and not have to take it out of another savings. Like it's
Yeah,
just-
okay.
So I love that, and holidays too.
Yep. Yeah, our holidays must have account. Yeah.
So yeah, the gifts one's good.
So you've got gifts, house expenses, Taylor expenses,
Yeah.
which is like your hair, nails, health
Spending.
insurance. What else do you have?
Spending and savings.
What's in the other spending?
Spending's just for every day.
Like groceries,
Yeah, groceries and you know,
fuel.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my fuel actually comes out of my business, but
Okay. Yep.
and
then
like
savings.
lunch, like what we did this morning, going out for
Your
brekkie.
brunch. Okay. Yeah.
And then I have savings.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
What
Sweet
about
as.
you?
Bro. I just felt like I had to say that. I've got, what have I got? So I've got one account for holidays. I've got bills, which is all bills that I can like predict, not including like groceries. And there's a bit of joint element in the groceries. Basically, Nathan and I just put a set amount each month into a joint account, and that covers groceries and us eating out. And if we aren't spending as much like in that account, and we end up saving stuff, like we just include other joint items that we buy in there. Then I have a it's the splurge, like the barefoot splurge. So just spend on whatever the fuck I like. And then like maybe incidentals.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
good.
about it.
Yeah, and Will and I are just working on a joint budget at the moment, right? And we actually have now going to have another account called Project for our new another house that we want to buy. So we're going to save in there as well.
Yeah.
So that's another kind of cool, like, and you could have that project for anything. Like it could be a business, whatever, but it's an investment account basically. So we're going to put that money into something.
You've just given me an idea. Like I really should create a Carlos account, the horse Carlos, so that I sort of be a bit more disciplined with like how much he's costing.
Yeah, so you know what's going on.
Horses cost a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's good. I mean, you can have other accounts like, you know, we're going to open up a baby account for when she's like have put some money, you know, like nothing crazy, like $10 away a week for her. Yeah. For when she's older. Yeah.
Hey, compound interest, guys.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
You know, maybe even buy some shares for her too. Mm-hmm. So,
get her a CoinSpot account. No.
Yeah. So, you know, that sort of stuff, you can have whatever account you know, if you've got a pets. Yes. Maybe you don't want to have pet insurance, you decide just to put money away for them. Yeah. That sort of thing. Car maintenance, cars. Yeah. Whatever. But I think divvying it up, it makes it clear in your head what's going where and how much you've got to spend. Yeah. So like this is a can of worms here, a really cool can of worms, and we might go over time, but we could probably split it into another episode. There's the budgeting, like in the Excel spreadsheet. What do I spend? What do I save? What do I want to save? What do I want to go on holidays with, etc. Like you do that all on the Excel spreadsheet. And then that's like step 1. Step 2 is implementation. And that is kind of what we were talking about now, where we have different banks, different bank accounts, multiple bank accounts within same banks, joint bank accounts. So you've got to really prepare yourself for this. Like it's a really rewarding experience afterwards. But don't just think, oh, I've done the Excel. I know where all my money's going. You don't, because unless you apply rigor to, like, it's going in this account, I use this card for it or whatever. Yeah. Well, maybe we should cut here and go to the next episode and get into that. Like, maybe break it up a little. Yeah. Because it's a bit bigger than I think we thought it was going to be. Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, cool. Oh my God, everyone, thank you for listening and have fun sharing what you've gotten for yourself out of listening today. We will split it into a second podcast, and our goal is for our content to reach as many people as possible and become the #1 women empowerment podcast in Australia. So our call to action is that you contribute to your fellow women by sharing this episode, leaving a review, and following us on social media. Have a great day. Bye.